high-profile Assange supporters like Pink Floyd's Roger Waters, World Socialist Website, RT, and Lee Camp, as well as a sustained social media campaign by grassroots supporters, which included artwork, memes, and of course, relentless tagging of Twitter support and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Despite video evidence to the contrary, President Donald Trump on Thursday claimed he attempted to stop his supporters' racist "Send Her Back" chant against Representative Ilhan Omar during a rally in North Carolina. When a reporter pointed out that the chant closely resembled Trump's tweets, which said the freshman congresswomen should go back to the countries from which they came, the president said, quote, "Well, I don't think if you examine it, I don't think you'll find that," end quote. In response to Trump's rally and his supporters' chants, Omar told reporters on Thursday that she believes the president is a fascist who is attempting to stifle dissent.
We have said this president is racist. We have condemned his racist remarks. I believe he is fascist.
Observers were quick to point out that the president's version of Wednesday night's rally do not align with reality. Trump allowed the chants to go on uninterrupted for more than 10 seconds before proceeding with his remarks, in which he accused the Democratic congresswoman of hating the United States, saying they should leave the country. A decade-long fight over the proposed construction of a giant telescope on a mountain considered sacred by some native Hawaiians came to a head Wednesday, when 33 elders were arrested for blocking the road to the summit. Activist Post reports the most recent protest kicked off Monday, when construction on the $1.4 billion 30-meter telescope was set to begin on Hawaii's Big Island. Astronomers say the mountain is one of the best places in the world to get a clear view in an attempt to understand the origins of the universe. But some native Hawaiians revere the mountain as sacred. It's both a place where important ancestors are buried and a place believed to be an entrance point to heaven. Hours after the arrest, Hawaii Governor David Ige issued an emergency proclamation to give authorities more flexibility to stop protesters from blocking construction. Hawaii News Now estimated that 1,000 people were present at the demonstrations, while ABC News reported those numbers swelled to 2,000 after Wednesday's arrests. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Big tech news this week as Microsoft has unveiled its new generation Xbox One. Designers say the console's revolutionary new voice command feature makes it easier than ever for the Xbox to control its users. According to Microsoft spokesman Don Matrick, quote, "The Xbox One is programmed with a host of simple voice commands that you will respond to instantly. In addition to phrases like jump, shoot, and insert game disc, users will also understand more complicated instructions like download Call of Duty Update or come into the room and turn on Xbox."
The Xbox One tells us what games to play, what music to listen to, what shows to watch.
Watch TV.
And with that simple command, I'm watching live TV.
The new Xbox's high-tech sensors can also detect your expression and tell when you're looking away from the television.
Andy, look back at the TV.
Microsoft says the new Xbox can also command you using your smartphone or tablet. TechBuzz is raving, quote, "It's the immersive obedience experience we've been waiting for."
This is the Onion News Network.
Right off the bat, welcome to the Call to Freedom. It is Sunday, July the 21st, 2019. I'm your host, as always, Aria DeMezzo, author of Dancing in Hellfire, which you can find on Amazon by searching for it. Joined in the studio, as always, by
Michael Hampton from CryptoTip.org.
And speaking of crypto, evidently there's been a the newest Silk Road arrest.
Oh, God.
It's been an interesting week for me as far as crypto goes. I think it was Monday, may have been Tuesday, may have even been Wednesday. I don't recall which. PayPal shut down my account.
No.
They did indeed. After having it for 7 years and being owned by a licensed business, one actually with the tax ID and paperwork with the state all in order, they shut it down.
Why did they shut it down?
Because stupid people kept buying Bitcoin Cash from me and kept putting for BTC in the notes. So eventually PayPal, and there was a not insignificant amount of money moving through it. So eventually PayPal was like, hey, we need proof of, what's the word I'm looking for? You know how they want proof of
shipping?
Shipping. Yes. I thought we need proof of shipping for these 5 transactions. We need to know what you're doing. We need to know what's changed in your business. We need to know all of this other stuff. So I was like, okay, this is bad. At that point, they had frozen my account. So I started doing the stuff, and I called them because it was faster to do that. And they were like, okay, well, everything looks good. We'll get back to you in a couple of hours. Hopefully have this resolved for you by the end of the day. I'm like, great. Okay, this isn't that big a deal. Oh, a few hours later, I received an email saying, yeah, we're closing your account. You jerks. The worst part is that there's a little over $500 sitting in that PayPal account now. And they're like, we're going to hold it for 180 days. Not
what the hell?
Yeah, not we're going to hold it for up to 180 days. No. 180 days is the minimum they're going to hold it. So at this point, I'm just like, that's gone. I'm just not even including that $500 in my life. One day, I will get a check for $500 and something from PayPal, but it's no longer a factor at this point. Yeah, it's gone. And Google Pay, so this changed things drastically for me and forced me to look at other options for selling Bitcoin Cash. Well, what did I find but vastly superior options? So now using Zelle and Cash App and Skrill and what are the other ones I'm using?
Google. Did you say
Pay?
Google Pay?
Yes. All using more. It's very much like a Hydra. You know, PayPal was my main selling point until they closed my account. And I was like, okay, well, now I have five payment methods.
Yeah.
So screw you guys. I don't need you. I need that $500. I don't need it, but I would like very much to have that $500 though, PayPal.
Yeah.
Let's get on that.
That's kind of a dick move, though.
Yeah. Google Pay, not any better. We can't say that on the air.
We can't say what on the air?
That word.
Oh.
It's all right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It is a jerk move. But, I mean, anyway. So, Google Pay, yesterday morning, I think, I had somebody buy about $450 worth from me. And never having used Google Pay before, I wasn't 100% familiar with how it works. Evidently, after sending you the money, they can still cancel the transaction.
Really?
Yeah. And that's what happened. So I thought initially that Google did it because it was a large sum and they just weren't expecting it. You know, they were like, oh, okay, no, we're not getting involved with this. But after emailing the person, contacting them on local.bitcoin.com, I decided, no, they did this on purpose. I sank their reputation, of course. 0% positive feedback now, 2 trades.
Yeah.
So they're never going to be trading again, but it's not like it's hard to make a new user account. There's a decent chance I've traded with this person again under a different user account.
It could have happened, yeah.
There's not much that can be done to actually prevent that. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's true that this week I lost about $1,000 in scams and PayPal. That's totally true. But the vast majority of people I have dealt with have not simply been honest. They've been overwhelmingly honest. Like these Zelle payment that I was telling you about earlier. I sold someone $500 worth of Bitcoin Cash, and the Zelle payment took a while to clear, but he was able to provide proof to me that he had paid. So if he disputed the transaction and was like, hey, I bought this Bitcoin Cash, but the seller hasn't released it, local.bitcoin would have taken his side.
Right.
Because I could provide proof that I hadn't received it, but he could provide proof that he paid it. So by all fairness, they would have released it to him. So I was like, I'm just going to protect my reputation and go ahead and release it and just hope for the best. Well, a few hours later, it came through just fine. I was like, great. That was a relief, because having that hanging over my head was not pleasant that evening.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily, it only took about 4 hours, right? But those were anxiety-filled,
nerve-wracking 4 hours. Yeah.
It's like, man, this is gonna suck. I just lost $500 to PayPal. I'm about to lose $500, all of which is still within the realm of my profit margin. So it would not have been the end of Aria's little enterprise.
Just a setback.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a setback. And so he turned around immediately and wanted to buy $500 more, and I was like, okay. No problem. We've done this before. And he sent me the payment via Zelle. And I, again, did not receive it. But because of, the history that we had, I knew it's going to be totally fine. Just go ahead and release it to him. Well, a few hours later, he contacted me telling me that Zelle actually, and after I released the Bitcoin Cash to him, he contacted me to inform me that Zelle had returned his payment to him. Yeah. And that they were not going to send it to me. I was like, oh, man, this is not bad. What do you want to do? Do you want to use, like, Cash App? Or do you want to send me back the Bitcoin Cash? I knew both of those were long shots, right? He's got both the money and the Bitcoin at this point. Why would he? I'm surprised he even let me know,
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm just going to send it to you from my wife's account. And I'm going to do $1,000 because I want to buy $500 more. And sure enough, minutes later, he did exactly that. And I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. Overwhelmingly positive. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. I was driving, I think, Tuesday night, and a friend of mine released the Bitcoin Cash for me because I was driving. I couldn't do it. I received the notification that I'd been paid, and this transaction had been going on for a while, so I was ready to get it over with. And this was before I was banned from PayPal. But I was driving. I saw the little P pop up because, it's the same app I use. Well, it's the same phone I use for my GPS, so I was keeping an eye on it.
Right.
I was like, okay, hey, I need you to grab my phone, go into Chrome, click Close Messages, and hit Release Escrow. Well, a few minutes later, I came to the gas station and checked. I was like, uh-oh, this guy was supposed to send me $75. He sent me 75 cents.
Oops.
And I just released the Bitcoin Cash to him. In my defense, I was driving, and someone who wasn't experienced with it was the one who was checking this stuff for me.
Ah, yeah.
So I contacted him and let him know. And I was like, look, if you'll just send me $70, we'll call it even. A minute and a half later, dude sent me $70.
Hey.
Despite having both the cash and the Bitcoin. It was,
yeah, that's honest.
And that wasn't the first time something like this had happened. It's been an overwhelmingly positive experience. I read these horror stories, and I get messages from other people who are selling, like, hey, how are you dealing with this? There's so many scammers out there. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've run into maybe 2 scammers out of, 125 transactions?
That's still, for some people, that's a lot of risk.
It is, but the only one that I lost money in was the $10 one and the $450 Google Pay one. The Google Pay one, entirely my fault. If I had known how Google Pay worked, I wouldn't have released the Bitcoin Cash at that point. I'd be like, hey, I have to wait until this is literally transferring to my bank account before I release this. So hold your horses.
Right.
Anyway, there's other crypto news. The newest Silk Road. We've got to get into that. Don't go anywhere. This is the Call to Freedom.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
This is The Onion Week in Review. In light of reports this week of a Russian crime ring stealing 1.2 billion username and password combinations from internet users, experts from top security firms across the country reportedly advised Americans to refrain from clicking on anything at all. The nation's top security specialists warned individuals to actively avoid any scrolling or swiping on the internet, and further urged Americans, as an added precaution, to steer clear of buttons, keyboards, and computer screens altogether. In other news, an employer botches a job interview. A date's flaws are coming at a woman faster than she can rationalize them, and a going out of business sign thanks a neighborhood for 3 months of no support whatsoever. Whether or not this video news summary eased the pain of your existence, you can now take solace in the fact that you're a few minutes closer to departing this meaningless world. For more, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Welcome back. This is the Call to Freedom. As always, you're invited to give us a call. That number is 603-283-6160. Again, that's 603-283-6160. So as alluded to, we're now going to go to Dash News to talk about the newest Silk Road arrest, as they call it. Anytime one of these free market websites on the dark web gets arrested, they refer to it as a Silk Road website, it would seem. which is at least sensible because we all understand what the Silk Road is or was. It was the largest free market website in the world.
Yeah, you could buy almost anything there.
And the owner of the largest free market website in the world, Ross Ulbricht, is in prison now, serving 2 life sentences for, being an entrepreneur who provided people an extremely valuable service.
Yeah, which civilization desperately needs.
And the government, which is attempting its best to control civilization, did not approve. And they're still not approving. Another Silk Road arrest happened last week, several years after the dissolution of the well-known dark web marketplace. And hallmark of cryptocurrency's early years, another vendor has been apprehended, according to a recent press release. Now, this is really the problem with the state. If you wanted to run a Silk Road website, where could you go? Where the government wouldn't eventually crack down on you.
The U.S. government? I'm not sure.
Or any government.
There's countries where they won't extradite to the U.S., but then you have
it's
to
not
worry
about
about
the
that
U.S.
government.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. You can't go to Thailand because eventually the Thai government is going to crack down on you. You can't go to Zimbabwe. Eventually, the Zimbabwe government will crack down on you.
Oh, you should just go to Somalia then.
Well, eventually the Somali government would crack down on you. Whatever is left of their government. Jeffrey S. Berman, the United States Attorney for the South District of New York, and some special prosecutor with an overly large name because he wants to feel special about himself because he doesn't have a real job, announced the arrest and unsealing of a complaint charging Hugh Brian Haney with money laundering derived from the proceeds of his narcotics trafficking on the dark website known as Silk Road. Oh, so this is actually a Silk Road. Okay.
From the original Silk Road. They're still arresting vendors from the original Silk Road.
They are so far behind. Do they not know? Do they not know how many of these free market websites have come and gone since then?
Oh, they know. They've taken down some of them. But they're going to be going through this. They're going to be going through those records for years because they're slow as molasses. They're a government.
Yeah, but this is absolutely ridiculous. It's not surprising, but
disappointing.
It is disappointing, but it's also good, I guess, because it just shows how far ahead the free market is of the game.
Yeah, I'm as afraid as I am of the government, I'm even more afraid of an efficient government.
That's a terrifying thought. So, it's good that they're inefficient, and it's good that the free market is so overwhelmingly more capable than the government, that the government is still arresting people from the original Silk Road website. And there are at least 10 right now. Not all of which popped up immediately after the Silk Road. Many of them just kind of come and go. Trying to stay, it's the free market, not necessarily one of these free market websites, but it's the free market as a whole staying perpetually ahead of the government.
Yeah, the average lifetime on one of these sites seems to be about a little under 2 years.
Yeah.
You run much longer than that and you're going to get busted.
Yep. I mean, speaking of hydras, that's exactly what we've seen. They cut off one head and
5 more,
Yeah, and now we've got an endless list. You can find websites on the ClearNet where you can get lists of free market websites on the dark web.
Oh, yeah.
It's not hard to find them. But evidently, illegal drugs and other illicit goods and services were regularly bought and sold by the site's vendors and customers. Haney was arrested this morning near Columbus, Ohio, and was presented before a magistrate judge in the Southern District of Ohio. Why were you still in America after what they did to Ross Ulbricht?
I know, right?
Jesus.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this guy thought he had gotten away with it, because what I think has happened here is that the government is going back. They've taken all the new blockchain analysis tools they have now. Thank you, Chainalysis, you freaks. And they're going back through all the old blockchain records and rounding up whoever they can.
Wow.
That's what I think is going on.
All the more reason not to use Bitcoin Core.
Yeah,
really.
Well, if you are or were a vendor on one of these sites, you need to think a lot, very carefully, about your own personal OPSEC. because they're going to come for you. It may not be a year from now. It may be, in this case, it was like the Silk Road was taken down in 2013. 6 years later, this vendor gets arrested. You need to think about that. If you're one of these vendors, if you bought something even from the Silk Road, you need to think about, because you may be in danger for years or even decades later.
Yeah, I mean, 6 years is definitely a long time for the government to have this sort of issue where because I mean, they took down the Silk Road. They certainly did. And that was,
that doesn't sound good.
It was certainly not pleasant. So they took down the Silk Road, and 6 years later, people are still being arrested. And the whole point behind Bitcoin is
was
that
to prevent this kind of crap.
Yeah, but I mean, it fails at that.
Yeah, it failed at that. I mean, Satoshi was not perfect. He had great ideas and he put them together very well, but it was not a perfect system. It has been improved since then.
Yes, but Bitcoin itself is still not particularly conducive to this sort of free market trading.
Right, because it is public.
It's totally public and it's permanent. That's why 6 years later, it doesn't matter. They still have the records showing that, hey, you bought this Bitcoin Cash from X, or not Bitcoin Cash, it didn't exist then.
Bitcoin from X, yeah.
And you sent it to this address, and we know this address belongs to
the Silk Road.
Or not Silk Road, but to some dealer or trader on Silk Road.
Right.
So we know that you purchased a thing, and we can prove it in court, so we're taking you to jail. Interestingly, it's fascinating to me that these Bitcoin transactions can be used in a court of law to connect one to one of these crimes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they have the Silk Road website. They have all the records of all the purchases made on that site. So, I mean, they can just stick that, correlate those with the Bitcoin addresses, and you're done. It's not hard. Computer can do that in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what Chainalysis set out to do, and that's exactly what they did. That's why I prefer to avoid Bitcoin.
So, like I was saying, Bitcoin, it was a good idea, but we still need the privacy, which is why we have privacy coins now, Monero and things like that.
Yeah, Horizon, Zcash, all of which are vastly superior to Bitcoin. Not to mention they don't have, 10% in transaction fees the way that Bitcoin does.
Oh, God, yes.
This is the Call to Freedom. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's
the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Welcome back. This is The Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcast as always from the Liberty Radio studios here in Keene, New Hampshire. I want to tell you about the Rational Review News Digest, which you can find at rationalreview.com. It's the Freedom Movement's daily news digest, aggregating stories from all over the internet that are of interest to libertarians and to liberty-minded people. They include podcasts, videos, blogs, news articles, and more. And now they're a source for people to receive the Call to Freedom's podcasts. So be sure to check them out. Again, that's Call to Freedom. That's rationalreview.com. Sorry. I only do this twice a week now, so it's more difficult than it should be to keep all of this straight in my head.
That's why we write this stuff down, right?
Well, I did wrote it down and then I memorized it, so I stopped paying attention to what I wrote down.
Oh,
so like it or not, we're now in a new era. Quite different from the early days, and quite soon we may find that our understanding of cryptocurrencies were upside down. A revelation that could lead to some interesting shakeups in proponents and detractors of the technology. It isn't the Wild West anymore, says Dash News. First and foremost, let's be clear, the crazy early days are over. You can't just buy anything you want with crypto, with no restrictions, signups, consequences, and so on. Well, yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can, but you have to know what you're doing now. And that's... Well, you had to know what you're doing then, but if you knew what you were doing then and haven't kept up, then you don't know what you're doing now.
You can't mine off your laptop and get anything resembling significant profit.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Well, neither did they, you know.
Well, you could in 2009 and 2010, but...
Yeah, but they didn't get a profit until much later.
Yeah, you had to hold on to that for 7-8 years, but...
Yeah. You can't use a single address for payments over and over without random nobodies looking into your whole financial history.
Yep.
And most importantly, you can't just transact, particularly on a public ledger, and expect that no one's watching. Everyone is watching.
Yeah, there are people who just go through the blockchain and look, and, you know, you can put an address into blockchain.info, and they let you make comments. Did you know that?
I did not.
You can write comments on a blockchain transaction. It's what? And people have done this.
That's terrifying. The entirety of major chains are being analyzed all the time, being combed through to tease out trends, identify likely sources of economic activity, and learn more about blockchain's real-world uses. But most importantly, people are looking. And if you don't want something seen, you should absolutely take that into account.
If you're doing something that you do not want other people finding out about for whatever reason, then you need to avoid public ledgers. I mean, it's that simple. You need to use a cryptocurrency that does not have a public ledger, that has some kind of privacy feature, like we were saying, Horizon, Monero, Zcash, things like that.
Yeah, because it certainly doesn't with Bitcoin or Dash.
Well, the whole point of Bitcoin was to have Bitcoin solved the double spending problem by having everything public.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but not having a public ledger is just another innovation on top of that, and it's unfortunate we didn't have that from the beginning.
It is.
We could have avoided a lot of problems.
So, moving forward, legitimizing funds seems to get people in trouble. Well, yeah, that's called money laundering.
Well, the government calls it money laundering. Second, call it just buying what we want.
True. Second, it seems like the major choke point for all cryptocurrency activity hasn't changed. Paradoxically, it's fiat currency. It's not a paradox. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because mass adoption hasn't been anywhere near reached. People still need to turn their digital cash into real, in quotation marks, cash that they can use.
That's true. If you put your crypto on an exchange, I mean that's gonna get tracked. I mean, you had to sign up with your real name at the exchange. You probably had to send them your ID.
Now, aren't there like washing services essentially for Bitcoin?
Well, there are mixing services that do how well they mix your Bitcoins and hide and disassociate your previous history with your current Bitcoins is up for debate, but maybe they work, maybe they don't. I don't know.
I would hope that they work, but it's not a risk that people should be taking anyway when they can just use, Monero.
Yeah, use a privacy coin that has the privacy to begin with, because even if you shapeshift your Bitcoin into Monero, you had to provide some kind of identifier to shapeshift.
You did indeed. That's why shapeshift sucks now. Plus, they have a history of working with the government and turning information over to said government.
Well, the government did kind of point their guns at them.
So. Well, that's what the government does. You shouldn't be in this business. You shouldn't be in the business of cryptocurrency if you're not
prepared to have a government gun pointed at your head.
Yes, thank you. Because they're going to do it. So, as alleged, Hugh Haney used Silk Road as a means to sell drugs to people all over the world. Oh no, he gave people what they wanted. Then he allegedly laundered his profits, more than $19 million, through cryptocurrency.
No, this is not money laundering. This is just, I got paid and I want to spend my money. So I have to exchange it.
Today's arrest should be a warning to dealers peddling their drugs on the dark web that they cannot remain anonymous forever, especially when attempting to legitimize their illicit proceeds. That's not legitimizing it, though. That's just converting one currency into another.
Yeah, that's just currency exchange. This is not...
This should really open people's eyes who were planning on keeping an entirely hidden financial life. Are you going to buy shampoo on the dark web?
I mean... That's a good idea.
You don't even have to go to the dark web. Couldn't you do that through purse.io?
Yeah, you could.
If somebody on Amazon I'm sure Amazon sells shampoo, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but you have to have Prime membership to get it. It's a little funny because it's in their Prime pantry thing.
Amazon's nuts. Is your favorite encrypted coin accepted at the gas pump? At one gas station here in New Hampshire does indeed take cryptocurrency, dependent upon who is working there. So. Yes, to answer that.
Well, yeah, but we live in crypto Mecca. Most people don't.
We do, but it's important to point out to these people that it all starts somewhere.
It has to start somewhere. And this is just a demonstration.
I can go and buy a pack of cigarettes right now with cryptocurrency. It's starting here.
This is the beginning.
Can you buy a whole house? Yes. And pay the property taxes. Who wants to pay taxes without someone taking notice?
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
going
know
to pay
about
property taxes with crypto. I'm just not.
I don't
I'm
know
not
about
stupid.
buying a house, but I do know that entire brand new vehicles have been purchased from dealerships for cryptocurrency.
I do know a realtor here in New Hampshire who will help you buy a house with crypto.
Oh,
if
that's
it's
right.
possible.
Porcupine Real Estate,
Yep.
right? Yep.
Porcupine Real
Okay,
Estate.
then yes, you can buy a whole house with cryptocurrency. Optimized for anonymity, and you may lose general commercial use, which quite paradoxically can get you identified.
Yeah, the point there is that sometimes you get a lot more anonymity simply by being in a crowd of other people who are doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, that's why people are relatively easy to bust using the dark web, because in order for you to be anonymous, you have to have a lot of people nearby you using it.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of other people nearby who are doing the same thing you are.
I have no doubt that I was one of maybe 5 people in all of North Mississippi who even knew what the dark web was, much less accessed it and used it.
Yeah.
So if I had done anything illegal, which I didn't, it would have been traced to me within days, simply because it's rural North Mississippi. There's nobody else using the dark web.
Yeah, that's how that guy got busted down at, what was it, Yale, I think, that he sent in a bomb threat because he didn't feel like going to class.
Wow, that was a stupid idea.
Sent it in via Tor, but he used Tor on the campus network.
Oh, dear Lord. You can't fix stupid
Which he had
people.
logged into with his own login.
Did you hear about the teens who were busted spray painting graffiti because their phones auto-connected to the Wi-Fi using their usernames? What is wrong with you people? This is the call to freedom.
There are basically 2 types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Welcome back. This is The Call to Freedom. And if you've ever wanted to have sex with prostitutes and then arrest them, or bust people for drugs and then sell the drugs on the side for a nice little bonus, or just enjoy the power rush of being a cop without all the paperwork, then you should try the Thin Blue Line game, which you can find at thinbluelinegame.com. It's the only card game in the world that allows you to shoot someone over a broken taillight and then escape accountability with the magical phrase, "I feared for my life." You know, typical cop stuff. Get it now at thinbluelinegame.com and use the coupon code CTF to get all shipping costs waived, assault and batteries not included. Again, that's thinbluelinegame.com. So we've been talking about cryptocurrencies, which has been on my mind quite a bit lately. And evidently, a new arrest related to the Silk Road, the actual Silk Road, and not
the original.
Yeah, the original. The one whose founder and owner is now serving 2 life sentences for creating. Now, Jeffrey Epstein rapes a bunch of little girls, gets 13 months.
Yeah.
Ross Ulbricht rapes nobody, simply makes a website, gets 2 life sentences.
Well, you know, that's the way the justice system is.
It is the way that the way that the justice system is, and it's totally disgusting. So, I've got something about the Chrome OS open for some reason. Sorry. So we're finding that a fully transparent blockchain maybe isn't the best place to hide things.
Yeah, you think?
Absolutely common sense.
You want to hide something, you do not print it on the front page of the newspaper.
Well, I believe in the early days, the theory was that your identity wasn't strictly tied to your wallet address.
And in 2009, that was true, that you didn't really have the whole big data thing that we have now, that you can analyze terabytes and many terabytes of information.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how all of this is evolving at the same time, you know. The third point should be obvious by now. Cryptocurrency is actually pretty transparent by design. In fact, it's probably the most transparent payment system around today. Because of its lack of connection to public identities, many people falsely assumed it was the best tool to hide their economic activity from the rest of the world. Well, to be fair, it's not the rest of the world's business what their economic activity is.
That's true. It's none of your business.
The truth is, the best asset of cryptocurrency is in its public and auditable ledger, which actually makes it far harder to hide nefarious activity. The greatest asset of this technology is the opposite of what it was used for, and that's become more apparent day by day. Certainly. I mean, there's nothing to dispute there. That's totally freaking true. So, governments take advantage of transparency today and they will fear it tomorrow, says
Dash News.
Says Dash News. Yeah.
That's a hot take.
It is. And I rather like it. Finally, as a result of that third point, we're going to see a whole new set of parties. Have a whole new set of... What? Good Lord, why did they do that? A whole new set of parties will have a whole new set of something else.
Opinions?
Yeah, I'm just juggling multiple things. Because no one knew how it worked. Cryptocurrency was easy to use. To hide things, meaning governments saw it as a problem. Increasingly, they are starting to find that it makes their jobs easier, not harder, and criminals will launder money through banks, cash, what have you. Well, duh, that's what banks do.
Yeah, that's the whole point of having a bank account is to launder money. Isn't it?
I think so. At the beginning, people loved crypto and government hated it because it was pseudonymous. Soon, the government will love it because they can track everyone's money with ease. After that, though, government will hate it because they can't hide their dirty deals anymore, and the people will love it. What a strange reversal that will be.
Yeah, that will be strange. But, you know, the thing about government hating cryptocurrency is that they'll just ban it, or they'll try to ban it. Like, some countries are already trying to ban cryptocurrency. Like India, for instance.
Yeah, and they have not been successful, as far as I've been told. I mean, it's even available in China. WePay, which, as I understand it, is part of WeChat.
Oh yeah, you can get crypto in a country where it's banned easily enough, but you know they still. The thing about them passing a law is that you can certainly break that law all you want, but that just means that the government can come for you whenever they want to and have something to hold against you.
And they certainly love doing that. So I don't know what the solution is, but there are ways around the government's bans and all of its sort of stupid nonsense. I like Dash News optimism, but I don't know. I think Bitcoin is probably a sinking ship, and I don't think that we're going to see the last of Bitcoin-related arrests.
Yeah. Oh no. This is hardly the last. The government's just getting started. They've got thousands of people waiting to arrest.
They do, and those who aren't getting busted for Silk Road might get busted for the child pornography that the FBI is distributing, and those who don't get busted for either of those things might just get busted because they're standing too close to any of this. You're selling too much Bitcoin at localbitcoin.com. You must be one of these people.
Oh yeah, you're evil. We're gonna take a close look at you.
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense. There are plenty of legitimate uses for cryptocurrency. We're proving it here. Yes, we can buy a house with cryptocurrency. Yes, we can buy gasoline, cigarettes, food with cryptocurrency.
Get your car fixed, whatever.
Yeah, you can get your car fixed with cryptocurrency. I don't know why people still insist that you just can't live with cryptocurrency, but you can.
You can. Some of us do.
It's just a little bit more difficult.
Well,
because you've got to go to a gas station between, I think, here and Manchester in order to get your gas.
Yeah, that's a little out of the way.
And you got to use a lot of purse.io to make purchases for shampoo and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be an interesting experiment for someone to come to Keene and attempt to live 100% off cryptocurrency. Nothing else. Not allowed to transfer it to fiat and use the fiat. You have to actually...
Not use purse or anything?
Well, you're allowed to do that.
Okay.
But you're not allowed to sell the cryptocurrency to hold the fiat yourself.
So not actually buying something with fiat. It's okay to buy something through a website.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're paying the cryptocurrency
for the stuff.
Yeah. I would love to see if that can be done. I'm sure it could. I mean, my gut tells me it could. It would be a hassle and it would be problematic. But
yeah, some people have done that before with Bitcoin before the transaction fees went to hell.
Didn't one of the previous owners or coders of Dash quit in order to go do this? Not in New Hampshire. I
think you're Joel Valenzuela, maybe?
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he might have been the one who did that.
I would be interesting to find out how that worked out.
Yeah, it's probably on the internet somewhere.
Yeah. I know that you can do it here in Keene. It wouldn't always be pleasant, and you wouldn't always get exactly what you wanted because you would do a lot of eating out.
Yeah,
because you can't buy
local burgers. Pretty good, but yeah, I get you. And I mean, the pizza's really good at Little Zoe's too. But
I finally ate curry Indian this week.
Yeah, how was it?
It was awful.
Really?
Yeah. It was Americanized Indian, if I've ever had Americanized Indian. It smelled fantastic, but all of the flavors were extremely watered down. So it smelled significantly more powerful than it actually tasted. And that to me was really disappointing. I don't want to say it was awful. It was just disappointing. Because I opened it up and it just smelled so fantastic, and I took a bite out of it and it tasted like exactly that smell, but extremely watered down. And that was unfortunate. But I mentioned Indian curry because they also take cryptocurrency. So there's local burger, Indian curry, curry Indian.
Curry Indian, yep.
There's hot hogs.
The food truck.
There's the other one we just mentioned.
Little Zoe's Pizza.
Little Zoe's. I don't like Little Zoe's Pizza, though. They overcook them way too much. And isn't there like one or two other places? Yeah, there's the Taco Biondo, I think.
Yeah, Taco Biondo up in Hillsboro. Where else?
So you do get some variety, at least.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, if we could get up to 7 restaurants, I think it would probably be okay.
Yeah, probably would.
You could just eat at a different place every day of the week. Going to be burning a lot of money doing that, but it would be possible.
Oh, and Thirsty Owl.
Oh, Thirsty Owl. Yep, you are correct. They also sell booze. So
yeah, you can have an actual drink with your breakfast.
Yeah, go for it. Why not? You're living the high life if you're spending cryptocurrency around the clock. This is the call to freedom.
You can't win if you don't enter, and you actually can improve your chances of winning a prize drawing if you wrinkle up your entry blank. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com, and I speak from experience. Why this works: if they'll be spinning the drum before drawing, your entry blank will move around more than, and not adhere to, other perfectly flat entry blanks. And if they don't spin the drum and merely reach into a box full of other perfectly flat entry blanks, many of which are sticking together, yours will feel different to the person reaching in. When you win, act surprised. And if you're looking for work, this is a metaphor. For more tips on sticking out in a world where just too much blends into the blah, 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 hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,425. Silver at $16.20. And Bitcoin is trading around $10,527. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at noscale.net. In the news, following a week of vocal protests from online supporters of Julian Assange, Twitter has reversed its unjust removal of the prominent pro-Assange activism account @Unity4J. Activist Post reports that after the account was suspended without explanation being presented to its operators, Assange supporters drew a clear line in the sand against internet censorship and began making a big noise that just couldn't be ignored. The account suspension drew condemnations from high-profile Assange supporters like Pink Floyd's Roger Waters, World Socialist Website, RT, and Lee Camp, as well as a sustained social media campaign by grassroots supporters, which included artwork, memes, and of course, relentless tagging of Twitter support and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Despite video evidence to the contrary, President Donald Trump on Thursday claimed he attempted to stop his supporters' racist "Send Her Back" chant against Representative Ilhan Omar during a rally in North Carolina. When a reporter pointed out that the chant closely resembled Trump's tweets, which said the freshman congresswomen should go back to the countries from which they came, the president said, quote, "Well, I don't think if you examine it, I don't think you'll find that," end quote. In response to Trump's rally and his supporters' chants, Omar told reporters on Thursday that she believes the president is a fascist who is attempting to stifle dissent.
We have said this president is racist. We have condemned his racist remarks. I believe he is fascist.
Observers were quick to point out that the president's version of Wednesday night's rally do not align with reality. Trump allowed the chants to go on uninterrupted for more than 10 seconds before proceeding with his remarks, in which he accused the Democratic congresswoman of hating the United States, saying they should leave the country. A decade-long fight over the proposed construction of a giant telescope on a mountain considered sacred by some native Hawaiians came to a head Wednesday, when 33 elders were arrested for blocking the road to the summit. Activist Post reports the most recent protest kicked off Monday, when construction on the $1.4 billion 30-meter telescope was set to begin on Hawaii's Big Island. Astronomers say the mountain is one of the best places in the world to get a clear view in an attempt to understand the origins of the universe. But some native Hawaiians revere the mountain as sacred. It's both a place where important ancestors are buried and a place believed to be an entrance point to heaven. Hours after the arrest, Hawaii Governor David Ige issued an emergency proclamation to give authorities more flexibility to stop protesters from blocking construction. Hawaii News Now estimated that 1,000 people were present at the demonstrations, while ABC News reported those numbers swelled to 2,000 after Wednesday's arrests. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Could dropping bombs on Afghans without warning from terrifying robot airplanes that fly themselves actually hurt America's efforts to stabilize Afghanistan?
It's complicated. No, not at all. Actually, I think we need to stay the course. You don't change horses midstream, and you don't stop firing missiles from unseen death droids soaring high above the clouds just because a couple of schools get blown up.
We have got to find another way to obliterate this population.
What about flaming bulldozers or 50-foot tall tanks?
Let's do what we can for these civilians. I mean, why not name the drones names Billy or Steve to make them seem less dispassionate.
Oh, that is a terrible idea. Billy is a horrible name for a drone.
They're now developing a 40-foot robot that actually looks more like an American soldier and also sprays lasers out of his eyes.
Well, at least that's a step forward.
Hey, look, as long as it fires missiles and bombs with very little accuracy and 0 Americans are at threat, I'm all for it.
Good point.
They should give it funny, floppy arms.
Yes.
Oh, it should spray candy out of its chest a few minutes before it starts shooting everything.
This is the Onion News Network.